Assalamu alaikum. This is Nizul Ajavez from BSPT Ashton, holding ID 20010231018, and the subject is Principle of Chemistry 1. I'm here to present my topic, and the topic which is assigned to me is lubricants. So, first of all, I would like to talk about the lubricants. Basically, lubricant is a substance which, when introduced between two moving parts, reduces friction by forming a slippery film between the two surfaces and thus improving efficiency and decreasing wear. It may also have the function of transmitting forces, transporting foreign particles, or heating or cooling the surfaces. Next, I would like to talk about the lubricity. Lubricity is the mean of reduction in friction and or wear by a lubricant. The term lubricity is often defined as the stability of the lubricant in the case diesel fuel to minimize friction between the damage or surface and relative motion under load. Generally, the test used to evaluate diesel fuel lubricity try to create conditions of boundary lubrications. Then we have some examples of lubricants: oil, grease, motor oil, friction modifier, friction additive, gel, silicones, and fluorocarbons. Next one is lubrication. Lubrication is the process or technique employed to reduce wear on surface in close proximity and moving relative to each other. Then we will discuss about the composition of lubricants. Typically contain 90% base oil, petroleum mineral oils, and less than 10% additives. Non-liquid lubricants contain grease, powder, dry graphite, molybdenum disulfide, telephone tape used in plumbing, etc. Those non-liquid lubricants provide lubrication at higher temperature. Then we will discuss about the chemistry of some lubricants. First, we will talk about the oils and the fats. So, what is oil or fat? Fats are the liquids at room temperature are called oils. For example, vegetable oil, canola oil, olive oil, etc. Then we will discuss about the chemical structure. Oils and fats important for storing chemical energy in living things. Oils are liquids, fats are solids made from esters or propane 1,2,3 triol glycerol plus long chain carboxylic acid RCOOH. Common fatty acids. So some common fatty acids are the palmitic acid, stearic acid, oleic acid, or linoleic acid. Then we will discuss about the conversion of the oil into fats. The most natural oils need processing to make them fit for use. Hydrogenations of unsaturated oils make margarine. Controlled hydrogenation makes oils more solid. Pass H2O through heated oil, nickel, catalyst, add flavorizing, salt, vitamins, etc. And this is the structure for mixture वगैरह. Then we have manufacturing process of gas oils. The light atmospheric and vacuum gas oils are processed in hydrocracker or catalytic cracker to produce gasoline, jet, and diesel fuels. The heavier vacuum gas oils can also be used as feedstocks for lubricating oil processing units. Then lubricating grease. Definition. Lubricating grease is a solid to semi-fluid product of dispersing of a thickening agent in a liquid lubricant. Other ingredients imparting special properties may be present. Manufacturing process. Mixing equipment. Grease kettles are heated with hot oil to as much as 250 degrees Celsius or more. Kettle capacities generally range up to 10 tons. Kettles could be pressurized up to 6 bar as option if required. Kettles could have counter rotating pedals which force the grease in opposite directions to improve mixing efficiency and temperature transpirations. Kettles also have a homogenation unit to provide additional mixing and homogenization sections to transport the grease to other processing equipment such as colloid milk. Then we have some applications of lubricants. Lubricants are primarily used to reduce friction stress between surfaces. They have the following uses, like as anti-wear, antioxidants, and anti-foaming agents, as demulsifying and emulsifying agents, as rust and corrosion inhibitors, in machinery as engine oils, compressor oils, gear oils, and piston oils, as hydraulic brake and gearbox fluids used in the soap and paint industries. Some specific uses of certain variants of lubricants are synthetic lubricants are used in turbines, vacuum pumps, and semiconductor devices. Molybdenum is used as the paint pigment and as a catalyst. Liquid lubricants are used in medicines. Then we have some purposes of the lubrications. The purposes of lubrications are following: by forming to keep moving parts apart, by forming thin layer between the surface, then to reduce friction, like lubricant to surface friction is lesser than surface to surface friction. To protect against wear, lubricant prevent wear by keeping moving part apart. To transfer heat, liquid lubricants are effective in heat circulation due to high specific capacity. To prevent corrosion, as surface of metal do not come in contact with air oxygen. To seal gaps, lubricant seal the space between moving parts through capillary force. To carry away contaminants and debris. And then we will discuss about the additives. Like, what is additives? Additives is a compound that added to base oil to enhance some properties. The properties of lubricants can be improved by adding certain chemicals like antioxidants, foam depressants, corrosion inhibitors, detergent depressors, oilness improvers. Then the formation of lubricants. Lubricant is formed by base oil plus additive, and base oil contains 70 to 85%, and additives contains 82 or 15 to 25%. Then lubricating conditions. There are different lubricating conditions like dry lubrication or boundary lubrication. Dry lubrication, no lubrication present with between the surface, like no oil film, and the boundary lubrication, thin film. This condition is found on machine, slide, ways, and this is thin oil film. Functions. There are some functions of the lubrication like keep moving parts apart, reduce friction, transfer heat, carry away contaminants and debris, transmit power, protect against wear, prevent corrosion. Then we have some objectives of lubricant: to reduce frictional resistance, to reduce wear on the bearing surface, to protect the bearing surface from corrosion, to carry away heat from the bearing, to produce noise from the moving components of the machine. And we have some properties of the lubricants. First one is viscosity. A lubricant's internal resistance to flow. Higher viscosity lubricants are thick and don't flow, while lower viscosity lubricants have a closer consistencies to water and do flow. The image below demonstrates the viscosity of 4 different oils. The ball sinks faster in the thinner, low viscosity oil, while it sinks slower in the higher viscosity blends. Then we have viscosity index, the rate of change in viscosity with changes in temperature. In other words, how much viscosity changes as temperature changes. Next one, we have oxidation stability. And the oxidation is a reaction that occur when oxygen is combined with the lubricating oil. Variables such as high temperatures, water, and acids would accelerate the rate of oxidation. The life of a lubricant is reduced as temperatures increase, leading to varnish and sludge. Then we have pour point. The lowest temperature at which a lubricant will flow or pour like a liquid. This can differ depending on the test condition. First one is demulsibility. The ability of a lubricant to separate from water. Flash point. The temperature at which a lubricant will ingenuate when heated and mixed with air, but a flame is not sustained. Then we have some types of lubricants. Engine lubricant, lubrication like in all moving parts plays a key role in life expectancy of an engine. Without oil, an engine would succumb to overheating and sizzling very quickly. Lubricants help mitigate with problem, and if properly monitored and maintained can extend the life of an engine. Where does engine lubrication begin? The process of lubrication is an internal combustion engine begins in the sump, commonly referred to as the oil pan. From here, the oil is pulled through a strainer by the oil pump, removing larger contaminants from the mass of the fluid. The oil then goes through the oil filter. Then understanding the oil filter. An oil filter is designed to remove contaminants from the engine oil. Filters are designed differently as not all the filters perform the same. Then a filter's ability to remove particles is independent upon many factors, including the media material, pore size, surface area, and depth of the filter, the differential pressure across the media, and the flow rate across the media. Then we have the next point, which is where does the oil go? The engine oil, after passing through the filters, goes through passageways to the various components of the engine, such as the cam, main bearings, rod, pistons, etc. And the gravity then pulls the oil back down to the bottom of the motor or to drain back into the sump, and the cycle repeats. Then next point we have is bearing. Bearings are used basically for performing three important tasks as mentioned below. First one is reducing friction. Second one is supporting the load. And third one is providing the guide for moving components such as shafts or wheels. Then we have some reference point links. And this is all about my topic. Thank you so much.